I was the armchair traveler, the armchair adventurous, living vicariously through YouTube videos and National Geographic Explorer shows. At some point realizing, wait a minute, we can do that. And the more research I did, the more investigating we did, the more we realized, wait a minute, we can actually live that life that we've, been watching these others live. We're Troy and Debbi Irwin and in Honey Bear. We're on board our Selene 57. We live in Henderson, Nevada, and we're here in Baltimore where we keep the boat. This is the first boat we've owned, and in fact, we've had very, very little boating experience. In fact, the biggest boat that we've ever operated was a lake boat, a 24-foot ski boat, and we literally went from 0 to 57 overnight. A little daunting. Some people thought we were a little bit crazy, but we knew that that this boat, because of the systems, because of the reputation, because of the stability, that going from no boat to a 57 boat was certainly within the realm of possibility. And here we are now 60 days later. That's all worked out exactly as planned. It couldn't have been better, going from literally very, very little boating experience to taking this boat overnight.
No boating experience.
No, yeah.
Some would argue no boating experience.
No boating experience, and we're making it work, and it's great to learn something new too.
Sure, yeah.
And it's really easier than you would think to operate this boat. And they say sometimes a bigger boat's easier to operate.
We've heard that a million times.
It just handles well, it's stable. I get seasick, so I didn't want anything that was going to move too much, and this has stabilizers. So it's great because it doesn't move that much. It's easy to handle. I always thought if you turned a boat, like everything was going to tip to one side, and not on these. They just glide on the water, which is great. So I'm not, so far, no seasickness.
Ocean boating, right? Trawlers, ocean crossing, the adventure has been a dream of at least mine, and she came along for probably close to 20 years. I ordered my first trawler brochure, I think back in 2007, and then it was until very recently that we bought a boat. Up until now, we've had most of our experience has been on lake boats out west. We live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Lake Mead, Lake Tahoe.
We've never spent a night on a boat.
No, Newport Harbor. Yeah. Right. So yeah, we've
been on cruise ships, but that doesn't really count as experience because we weren't driving.
And the one night we did spend in the boat.
Oh yeah, we did a boat Airbnb so that we could just sleep on a boat to get a feel of what a boat would be like. And that was it. So we had zero experience.
Zero experience.
Driving a boat, sleeping on a boat, traveling on a boat.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah, a very limited boating resume. That's certainly what they concerned of my insurance agent when we said we wanted a 57. But yeah, that was so very, very limited boating experience. We weren't necessarily intimidated. I've done a lot of research, a lot of due diligence with regards to trawlers, especially full displacement trawlers, the stability, the safety. Knew that it wasn't, that difficult. And like I said, literally most of our experience have been on 24 and 26 foot ski boats in lakes with very limited, kind of trawler.
Driving with somebody else. Like it's their boat and Troy would drive for maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Right. So that's kind of this is a big change.
Well, now that we have the 57 foot Selene, it is actually easier than I thought it would be.
Remarkable.
I thought the week before we closed on the boat, I was terrified. I'm like, are we just crazy? We've never had a boat. We're getting this huge boat. We've never been to Baltimore. We've never done any of this. Is it just crazy? But it's not. It's a lot easier than I thought it would be. And we're meeting great people that are helping everybody in the Selene family. If I have a problem, I call him. If he has a problem, no matter what it is about, we can call somebody and get support. So that's great. And everybody's doing it. It's couples like us doing it. And we're like, if they're doing it, why can't we do it? And that was his thing. We were watching YouTube videos and we're watching people and we're like, if they can do it, why can't we do it? Why are we sitting here watching them on the TV? Why don't we do it too? And we're making it happen one step at a time. And I mean, we're going to head south to Bahamas, which seems, a little bit daunting, exciting, and ambitious. But I think if we just take it one trip at a time, one leg at a time, we can do it. Because the Selene, with your autopilot and thrusters to park, it makes things easy and it's comfortable. It's like sleeping at your house. It's my house now. It's my second home.
Yeah, terrifying. I do not have a lot of technical experience. I am not mechanically inclined. I'm probably mechanically declined. Electrical things, I had no idea what 24 volt and 120, I had no idea what any of that meant. So that was the biggest, kind of barrier for me, was all the systems. It's literally almost like a small city. I was a little bit initially overwhelmed by that. But like Debbie said, the community is fantastic. We've had, people that on the boat that have had 20 years experience and people that have 5 years experience. Yeah, help is a phone call away or an email away. If we've had problems with thrusters or davits or you name it, or hey, you know what, I'm not sure how this operates. If we can do it, literally anybody can do it. Debbie, to mention, we live out west. The boat's in Baltimore. We'd never been to Baltimore. Yet we knew we wanted to have a boat because we wanted on the East Coast because we wanted to be able to go from Maine to the Bahamas. So that alone brought some challenges that people were like, "Are you nuts? Who does that? Who buys a boat with very little boating experience, the size of your boat, and a boat that's capable of doing these incredible things, which is the dream, right? Is to do these incredible things." It's just been incredible. The last 60 days. Right, the learning curve has been tremendous.
Not that hard though.
But
it's 5 days of training.
Right, we had a captain on board for 5 days that brought us up from Deltaville. He signed off. We had some insurance requirements that they required us to be, to have a sign off on a licensed captain before we could operate the boat alone. But the technology is incredible. The systems on these boats are incredible. It's been unbelievable. So what led us to a Selene? Well, like a lot of people that, make this leap of faith, we had considered all the usual suspects. Like I said, this was a 15, 16-year process.
We really started looking about 3 years ago. We went to our first boat show where we started looking, getting on boats. And at that point, I thought we were just looking at boats. But, we started saying, wow, we could maybe do this. So we chose one brand, went through that brand, really dove deep. Decided there was things that didn't fit for us. So then we chose another brand of boat and we dove deep on that brand and we thought we were going to go with them. We had them looking for a boat and we said, let's look at one more boat.
Well, what had happened is I had mentioned to Debbie. So we were on a number of different brokers' lists and they knew what we were looking for. And I said, there's only one brand we haven't seen. And it's a brand that I've recently started seeing more and more talk about online and on some videos. We should go see this. And unfortunately, they haven't been at a lot of boat shows, but they're going to be at Trawler Fest in Fort Lauderdale. So 2 weeks before, we booked a trip from Las Vegas to Fort Lauderdale specifically to see the one boat they were going to have on display there.
Selene.
And so we got down there, first day of the Trawler Fest. We came on board and somehow we kind of toured the boat separately. She kind of went in and I was on the cockpit talking to some individuals. I was kind of, like I said, I kind of had my heart set on another brand, quite frankly. And she comes off of the boat about 10 minutes later and says, "That's our boat." And I said, no, come on. So then we came back a couple hours later and I toured the boat, and it just so happens the other brand that we were considering was also at that boat show. Went back and it was interesting. You could go back and forth, right? Looking at systems, looking at the comfortability, looking at the community, right? The people,
That's what got me as
right.
soon as I got on the
Selene had Selene owners on board, right? Whereas the other company they were just salespeople, right? And by that night, we were like, you know what? Maybe you're right. And then, like I said, within just a few short months, we were learners.
While we were on the boat, we heard there may be a boat for sale, which is this boat that we ended up getting. And I didn't even tell Troy. She told me, well, contact this broker if you're interested. And I'm like, I'm interested because everything about that boat is what I wanted. And then when she told me this one was for sale, I just had a gut feeling that's our boat. So I contacted the broker. I'm like, oh, we're meeting with the broker this afternoon.
Yeah, right. I think that night or the next morning, you're like, oh yeah, we're meeting with the broker in 2 hours. And I was like, okay, wonderful.
And so we just talked about the boat and just everything, the price, the people. And that's really, for me, community was one of my number one goals, is to have, I love my husband and we have a lot of fun together, but when I first pictured boating, I pictured being out on the ocean, just the two of us for hours and days, just us. And I'm like, I'm social. I like to meet people and have fun and do things. And that's all we've done for the last 2 months, is meet people. And the community just welcomed us in. And we just had, right before you guys got here, we just had like 15 people on our boat having a little happy hour, which is great. You should have filmed that. Because that's what we wanted, was to meet the community. And these are my friends now, and these are the people we're going to travel to the Bahamas with. And just the boating industry, you know, at our marina, we've met a bunch of people that said, hey, come have dinner on our boat. And that's what we wanted, was to have a family. And the Selene family is amazing. Everybody's welcoming. Everybody is just helpful. And that's really what sold me right from the get-go. So here we are.
Here we are.
What surprised me the most the first 60 days on the Selene is probably the comfort, the livability, the ease of driving it, and also how much fun it is to have my family on board. That's been my favorite thing so far. We had our daughters and their boyfriends on board, and 6 of us lived so comfortably on this boat. There's plenty of room, you've got plenty of space. If you need space, you can go upstairs, you can come to the back, you can go down to the bedrooms. You can be in the pilot house, you can be in the salon. We've got a huge kitchen, so it's just so comfortable. It feels like a house. It doesn't feel like people are like, how can you live on a boat? Well, with the Selene, you're living in your second home. It's not just living on a boat. How about for you?
Yeah, I think some of the things that have most surprised me is, I think, how quickly we adapted. I mentioned, this has been a long time dream for me, but I really, just getting into some of the systems and making it our own and understanding, different components and how this worked and that worked. And quite frankly, I have a list within a month, we had a laundry list of names of people we could reach out to. That reached out to us initially. Hey, congratulations on, welcome to the Selene family. If there's anything you need, reach out. And believe me, I have taken them up on that. Any type of issues, any questions, hey, I don't think this is working right, or tell me about this. If they didn't have the answer, well, you know what, you need to talk to so-and-so. Let me get you their information. So that has been incredibly surprising. That initially, like I said, I'm not the most technical guy. I'm in finance, but having that support system and the people that literally have bent over backwards for us to help us just kind of understand. And because they've all been there. They're like, yeah, maybe I've been boating for 5 years or 20 years, but they all too, there was a learning curve. So that's been incredible. You kind of hope for that, right? And in some manufacturers, they kind of tout their community. And that was very important to us. This has been, without a doubt, this community has gone above and beyond. And let us help you this. Let's talk about that. I've had people drive 2 hours to Baltimore here where we have the boat. I can be out there on Thursday to help you diagnose that. I mean, that doesn't happen in the real world. I'm sorry, So it's just been amazing. That's probably been the biggest surprise. I knew what to expect from the boat. I knew that the boat could take far more than what we could do, right? These boats are stable, they're strong. Everything that I wanted in a full displacement trawler, this Selene 57 has. So that didn't surprise me. That was all as expected. It was all some of the other stuff, the Selene American team, the Selene community. That was, if there was a surprise, that was it, because everybody has just gone above and beyond.
So the things I think I'm most excited about and looking forward to is seeing all the new places. So this is our first time in Baltimore. We love it. Next stop, heading down to the Bahamas, which I plan on taking our time and seeing a lot of cities in between. So we want to go to North Carolina, South Carolina.
Well, we're from the West Coast.
Yeah.
So we've never been to some of these places. We've never been to Chesapeake Bay, Beaufort, Beaufort, Savannah.
So all the new places, we love historical little towns. We've been to Annapolis since we've had the boat. We've never been there. So I'm excited about all of that, and then going to the Keys. We've been to the Keys and Caribbean and Bahamas on cruise ships, but never on our own. So I'm very excited about doing that. Taking the kids, having people fly in, having friends fly in and join us. And I'm also a photographer on the side. So of course there's going to be tons of photography opportunities with wildlife and just being on the water. And I'm a water girl, so just swimming in the Bahamas is just goals.
Yeah.
I love being in the water. So I'm not probably going to swim in the Chesapeake Bay, but when I get to the Bahamas, that's all I'm going to do. And then big aspirations is next summer, possibly get going north from here and going up to Maine and Martha's Vineyard, Nantucket, and all those great places. That's goals for next year.
My goals are a little bit more far afield. I want to cross an ocean. I bought this boat with the intent to do that. The Bahamas and the Keys, beautiful, and New England and New York. We've got a daughter in New York City, so we certainly want to do that. There's a number of us Selene owners that are talking maybe taking our boats across the Atlantic in the next couple of years. Maybe doing the Viking route. We talked about that actually tonight with some friends, Nova Scotia and around. And so that's more of kind of long-term goals. This boat can certainly do that. That's what it's built to do. So yeah, that would be great to do the Bahamas, which is beautiful, and the East Coast of the United States. But there's a big world out there, and I would love to take this boat across to Europe into the Med, and then see what's beyond that. Another consideration was that just a few years ago we could not have done this lifestyle. Certainly not now. We are not retired. I work full time. I'm a consultant. But this boat now that we have, Starlink and self-service, I can literally operate my business from virtually anywhere in the world. A little bit of juggling, right, between time zones and that kind of stuff. But the fact of the matter is that this is, for part of the day, this is a floating office, and I take full advantage of that. And like I said, my clients, they're, whether I'm here or at my office in Nevada, there's literally no hiccups. And I really couldn't have done that just a few short years ago. So that's exciting. That's allowed us to make this transition earlier than we otherwise would have. We didn't have to wait till we were fully retired to make this leap, that we could still have, still be generating income and what have you. So that's been tremendous. And the ease of that is just incredible. The technologies that now exist that allow us to do that. This boat is, fully Wi-Fi. We have, internet TV and all, HBO and Apple TV and Hulu and you name it. So all the entertainment systems. So that part of it's just been incredible. And like I said, it's allowed us to make this journey several years earlier than maybe we would have been able to just 10 years ago, certainly.
I still work, yes. So I'm flying back and forth for work. So that makes it a little challenging. So I can be gone for 10 days at a time, and then I fly back to Vegas.
Well, hopefully that's...
Yes. But I have a feeling when I get to the Bahamas, I'm not going to want to leave. Because as it is, as I'm leaving now, Troy and Honey Bear, bye, see you later. And it's hard to leave. And then I get FOMO because I call him, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to so-and-so's boat for dinner. Oh, we're all going out to dinner, and I'm missing all the fun. And anybody that knows me knows I don't like to miss out on fun. They don't call me FOMO for no reason, So yeah, so it's not as easy for me right now, but I think that it might be a forced retirement situation. One of the best things, so going into buying a boat, we were like, what else would we do in retirement? What are our options? Do we want to just travel, take cruises, and go on vacations? But that's a lot harder to do with a pet. And so with
a pet that you want with you.
Yes, I want to bring my dog everywhere. I love having her. As you can see, she's my baby. And she can go everywhere with our Selene. We're fine leaving her alone. If we want to go to dinner without having our dog with us, we can, because she can stay in. We have air conditioning. She's safe. She's comfortable. She got potty trained on the boat. After one day, she's never had an accident on the boat, so it's super easy. And we've noticed that a lot of places we go on the boat, every marina has been very dog friendly. So they allow her in restaurants, which has been great. And she goes everywhere with us. And so we can now travel and not have to leave our pet with a pet sitter or anything, which is just...
And she's got her space on the boat. She's got a little potty pad on the forward deck, and she took to that, very quickly.
Pad, right?
It's very safe, right? I mean, we don't have to worry about if she's in the cockpit. You don't have to worry about her, falling overboard.
Yeah, with the Portuguese bridge.
And when you shut the Portuguese bridge, it's completely safe. I've never worried about that. If we keep the door open, she can come and go. You're not really considering that. When we're off the boat, like I said, we have air conditioning. We've had truck campers in the past, and keeping her in the boat, or in the truck, having questionable air conditioning and what have you, that was a much bigger concern. Here we've got cameras inside, we've got the air conditioning, we have monitoring where we know what the temperature is inside the boat. So leaving her here is no more difficult than leaving her at home.
And a lot of people have dogs and pets, and it's great. You're bringing your family with you.
Yeah, there's lots of dogs. And in fact, the marina that we keep the boat at has a dog park at. So very, very dog friendly.
What do you think?
She sees her friends. She's getting excited.
Well, she thinks she owns the dock. So anybody coming around here is at her house. So she's very protective.
We've only owned the boat for 60 days, but this is in fact our second rendezvous. When we were down at Trawler Fest and we first saw the Selene, they had one Selene. We knew that the Selene brand was the direction that we wanted to go. Debbie had made that quite clear. But the Selene line is quite extensive. So we wanted to get on multiple Selenes. And the team at Selene Americans, Wayne in particular, invited us out to the West Coast Rendezvous, which is in Roche Harbor. And being from Las Vegas, that seemed reasonable. There was also some question about whether or not we wanted to have a West Coast or an East Coast boat.
Right. And the West Coast Rendezvous was amazing too. The people they were voting, you have to come to the West Coast.
They were really trying to recruit us to be West Coast boaters.
They just took us in, and it felt weird not having a boat and being at a Selene Rendezvous, but they never made us feel bad about it. Like they were so welcoming, and we wanted to get on a bunch of different boats. So we did at that rendezvous. We got on all the different sizes, and we had this boat in the back of our mind. And so once we met all those people, went on all the boats, we decided West Coast was not for us because I like to swim in warm water. And people were like, oh, we have warm water. You just have to, boat a couple hours, and it's just 1 week a summer. And I'm like, okay, I need warm water for a long time. So we did choose the East Coast. And but they really, at that rendezvous, we said, we're going to buy this boat. And then now that we have a boat, it's even more fun because now we're really...
Now here we are at the East Coast Rendezvous.
And earlier I've talked to two couples that are looking, that are here at the rendezvous that don't have a Selene yet. And I've already shown one of them our boat, and because I was in there...
Well, you're proud of it, and you're like, well, hey, if you're looking at Selene's, come on our Selene. And, let us, because we were in the similar position just, a few months ago.
Pushers.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that what they call it?
I don't know.
When it comes to sales, right? Almost exclusively, all the other brands we were considering, we spoke to salespeople or owners of the company, right? Or the
builders, yeah.
Right, or the sons and daughters of the owners of the company. We never really had much experience with owners. Selene took an entirely different approach. It is, and those are, you're right, the Selene owners are in fact the best. The salespeople are great, but but there's always that sales aspect. It's when you get to talk to the real owners and you get the truth and the pros and the cons, and you weigh that. Selene has been just incredible about allowing you access to the owners, where I'll tell you, some of the other companies, we never had direct access from the company to other owners. Now you could reach out on Facebook or, those types of things. But Selene has taken an entirely different tact with regards to that.
And the rendezvous are fun.
And
it's a lot of fun.
But whether it's Rendezvous, the Trawler Fest, or others, they actually have owners on board. So when you come on board and you tour in these boats, oftentimes it's a Selene owner, and they're telling you real world experience and giving you, and that really, really is an entirely different experience than just talking to a salesperson.
This is opening new worlds. It's the next chapter in our lives. It's like we've gone off to college. Like we've got new friends, we've got a new family. Everybody's, no pun intended, but in the same boat. Their children are grown. They're ready for adventure. They're not ready to sit on the couch for the rest of their lives. And thanks to Troy, we're off the couch, because that's what we were doing every night. What show are we going to watch?
Right.
And now we're on our boat, and now we're going, we're sitting out and watching sunsets, and we're planning our next adventure. We're learning new things. We're meeting new people. And although it was scary to make the leap, oh my gosh, it's the best leap we could have done.
Yeah. Debbi brings up a good point. I was the armchair traveler, the armchair adventurous, living vicariously through YouTube videos and National Geographic Explorer shows. At some point realizing, wait a minute, we can do that. And the more research I did, the more investigating we did, the more we realized, wait a minute, we can actually live that life that we've, been watching these others live. And then at some point, you just need to make the leap of faith. It's terrifying. Take my word for it.
It is.
Somebody like myself who has no mechanical knowledge, right? I couldn't hang a ceiling fan at home. That's just not my forte, right? I'm a finance guy. But understanding, if you have the desire to learn, right? If you are willing to reach out to others, it is amazing how helpful people are, and that we live in a world of good, and that if you just ask, people will bend over backwards to assist you, and they want you to experience this lifestyle that they've experienced.
Yeah, people want to share.
So many other videos that we'd watch on YouTube's or whatever, they would finally say, hey, you know what, you belong here. Wish you were here. You should get here. And at some point, you finally just say, you know what? Yeah, let's go.
And we're here.
If you have a spouse that's crazy enough, and that she's like, yeah, you know what? Sure, honey, let's do this. It's a dream come true. A year ago, if you would ask me where am I going to be in September of 2025, this is not where I would have told you. But here we are, and it's just been fantastic.
And we're damn glad.
And look at this guy. I'm glad I didn't first bring you up. That was the hard close. No, I gotta do it again. What are you drinking, scotch? You absolutely should put that in.
Because he's the one who's been.
We've talked about you a lot, but we haven't mentioned your name, but you have been the one.
And we appreciate you so much. I just want you to know that.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, that's really sweet.
No, really.
All right, Kenny. Love you guys.
Yeah,
That's all I need.
it's been a journey, and for people like you, and some others that, like I said, we wouldn't have been able to do it. Like I said, it would have been too terrifying. But knowing that we had the support system, the safety net.
So seriously, you buy Selene, your family, your brother.
That is, and we have felt exactly that.
I don't want to call you sister.
So where are we having dinner? That's the important thing.